All right, let's say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. Extraordinary. We thank you once again for the co-creation of this interaction. We thank you with deep appreciation for the allowance of this transmission. We thank you for your participation in the growth of yourself, of your being, and the expansion of your consciousness. We thank you for your willingness to be more and more and more of who you are, for that is what this life is all about. This day of your time, we are talking about the idea of living an extraordinary life. What is that hinged on? What is the center point of that concept that will drive you forward into that kind of life, that kind of an experience? It is all the things that we have already discussed over the course of the transmissions of this weekend. And in addition to that, it is allowing oneself to have a deeper understanding of the term authenticity. Being your authentic self. What does that mean? Being true to yourself, being in alignment with yourself, your true signature frequency, of course. But it also means, really, as you say, putting it out there, really acting on your passion. The idea is that you have chosen to have a physiological experience, a physiological lifespan. That physiological lifespan plays out according to the theme and themes you have chosen to explore. And it is up to you to decide how you will explore them. Now, we are not saying that you cannot have an authentic life, have an extraordinary life, by being in a state of balanced peace. Of course you can. It doesn't mean that when we say it is important to act in your life, that you have to be running all over the world. You can be stable, peaceful, balanced in one location for the entire lifespan, if you wish. If that is true for you, really true. However, we recognize that because of the thousands of years of fears that have existed on your planet, that have embedded within many of you in your culture, your society, in your upbringing, the idea of definitions of diminishment, definitions of devaluation, definitions of the experience of disconnection, that many of you will not necessarily be acting as fully as you could be, will not allow yourselves to be your authentic beings. And now is the time to change that. As has been said, you know you are going through a transformation in this day and age. You know that it is about the idea of letting go of the things that are not you and incorporating the things that are. In the most profound, most artistically creative and expressive way possible. It is about getting out there and doing it, not holding back, not hesitating to be yourselves, your authentic selves. It is about being bold, adventurous, courageous, confident, curious, imaginative, excited, interactive, expressive, not holding back the gifts that you have to give, not depriving others of those gifts. Because while you may feel from time to time that you are seeking and searching for things, others also are seeking and searching for what you have to share, for what you have to give, for the expression of your true authentic self. When more and more and more of you are really allowing that authentic self to come to the forefront and to stand tall and to stand firm with your feet firmly planted on the ground and your consciousness raised to the heavens so that you stand in between that balance point of heaven and earth, as you say. And you allow yourself in that state of being, in that state of certainty, to really know it's all right, to really know it is your purpose, to really know that you can act, put forth, give out that gift, express that gift. And there will always, always, always be a reflection from those that have been seeking what you have to give. It may not come in the form you expected, but the unexpected is to be expected in your lives from this point forward. Allow yourselves to be prepared to turn left and turn right in unexpected ways, to go up, to go down, to go forward, to go back in unexpected ways. Follow the flow of the path of least resistance, no matter how it may wind, no matter how it may twist and turn through your life. For those twists and those turns are your trips, your adventures, your processes, your explorations, your discoveries of more of yourself. And were they not essential to understanding the fullness of your being, those twists and turns would not exist in the path that you are. They are there for a purpose. They are there for a reason. They are there to help you authenticate yourself, validate yourself, get reflections and reinforcements of the true being that you are. For as you put that out there, you will always get the reinforcement and reflection and support of creation that this is who you say you are. Creation will never contradict you, ever. It is not designed to do that. It is designed to support you unconditionally in whatever you say is your truth, and whatever you say is true for you, if it really is in alignment with your signature frequency. Always in living an extraordinary life, always, too, must you incorporate the idea of balance, gratitude, grace, appreciation, and always take the time, always take a pause, and always take a moment to make sure that you are being truly authentic, that you are not disguising your anxiety as excitement, not burying the idea of definitions that you are too afraid to look at, because you are afraid that if you go diving down to look at, to examine, and to explore and investigate those negative beliefs you may have about yourself, many of you may be too afraid to find out that if you go exploring, you will discover that those negative beliefs are actually true. I guarantee you they will never be true. They will never be true. For you are a co-creator. You are made in the image of creation. You are what gives life meaning. You are the reflection of the all that is exploring its unique self. And this idea of your extraordinary life and the authenticity is all based on the concept of your unique perspective. You are the only one of your kind. You will ever be the only one of your kind. And no matter how many other simultaneous, incarnational existences you may cross-connect to from the present, there will always only be one of you. You will always only have this one life to live as you. So live it to the fullest. Allow it to be what you designed it to be. Work in harmony, work in concert with your higher mind. For your soul being has, in a sense, set itself up as a duality and a trinity by creating the split of the non-physical higher mind and the physical mind, and the balance point in between. You function on all three levels simultaneously, and by allowing there to be that balance between the two, allowing the relationship between the physical and the higher mind to work smoothly, to let each other do the jobs you were designed to do, to support each other, to reflect to each other what it is you were designed to support and reflect, you will be functioning as a whole being, as a whole person, as your authentic self, as your adventurous self, as your extraordinary self. Anytime that you only allow your physical mind to control everything, to manipulate everything, thinking that is the only way to allow yourself to experience your self-empowerment, that it is the only way to allow your life to fall into place, anytime you allow only the physical mind to do that, You are functioning as a half person, not a whole being. In truth, in a sense, without the higher mind, the physical mind is literally a half-wit. So use all your wits. Use them the way they were designed to be used. Rely on the higher mind. It is standing on the mountaintop. It can see farther than the physical mind. It can see where you're going. It can see the path you are. The physical mind down in the valley is wandering to and fro, going around this outcrop and that outcrop, going down into that valley, crossing this river and that river, or that ocean and this ocean. And it can only see so far. It can only see to the physical horizon. But the higher mind is on the mountaintop. It can be all the way out into space, and it can look far beyond and guide you unerringly if you are willing to allow it to do so. And this is the point that we have discussed about your visualization of your life, your authentic life, your extraordinary life. It is absolutely, profoundly helpful to have that vision in your mind, that symbol in your physical mind of what represents to you that extraordinary life. Seeing yourself in all the places in the world that excite you. Seeing yourself clearly, viscerally, doing all the things in your life that you say are representative of your highest joy and your passion. Applying that and watching yourself thrive, watching yourself be creative, watching that version of you live a life of ecstasy and joy and calm and peace and contentment and confidence. But the idea, again, is that your higher mind, and only your higher mind, knows exactly what that's really going to look like, how that's really going to physically manifest. So by using the symbol to get yourself amped up into a state of excitement, because if you really connect to that visualization, you will feel like that is you. You will start to mirror, to mimic, to match the vibration, the body language, the actions, the choices that that version of you in that visualization is doing. You will behave like that version of you more and more and more. The more you key into it, the more you have that visualization. But that's just for the purpose of getting you to start behaving like that you, to exist in the state of being of that version of you, to feel the excitement and passion and peace and balance that exists within that version of you. And as soon as you feel that, as soon as it rises, as soon as it fulfills you, as soon as you radiate that frequency and you feel you're going to burst at the seams, you're so excited about that visualization of the ideal reality, the ideal, authentic, adventurous, extraordinary life. Drop it. Erase it. Blank it. Zero. Flatten it out. And go into the void. But keep the excited state. And then hand over that energy to your higher mind and let it take that energy and lay it out like a blanket upon the landscape. And let it show you what things need to now come to you, in what order, in what way, in what fashion, at what timing, with whom it is attendant. How it expresses itself. Perhaps it may look similar to what you visualize. Perhaps it will look nothing like it. But know for a fact that what it brings you next when you're in that state, if you stay in that state, will be exactly the thing you need for your extraordinary life. For the life to continue to be experienced in an extraordinary way. You are all capable of living your version of an extraordinary life. You all have it within you. And it's just an issue of letting it out. Letting that vibration leak into the world so that by example of living that life, you allow other people to see in your example that you are so ecstatic, living that extraordinary, adventurous, curious, imaginative, and creative, loving, passionate life, that they will come to you in droves. How did you do this? How are you living this way? How is this working for you? This is who I want to be. And you will inspire. And by your example, you will support their opportunity to have more option, to choose an extraordinary life themselves. Ignite each other. on your planet, in the practice and understanding known as Zen, they have an image that is exactly representative of what we are speaking of here. And it is the candle flame. Imagine this now. You are a candle, and you have lit your flame, and you are surrounded by unlit candles. As you take your candle, you can light all the other candles. Your flame never diminishes, but all the other candles ignite. And that flame grows and it spreads into 1,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000 flames of their own. By the first flame, by your willingness to shine that inner light outwardly, do you give them an opportunity to take their candle and match the frequency of your joy and ignite their own candle, ignite their own flame, to allow that single flame to turn into billions of flames. At least the opportunity. Should some candles choose not to match that vibration, allow them their choice unconditionally. That is also part of your authenticity, part of your extraordinary life, to be so allowing, so unconditionally allowing, that others who may make choices that you can see clearly are out of alignment with their true selves. It doesn't mean you condone it for yourself. It doesn't mean you gloss it over. It doesn't mean you don't recognize that it may be a negative energy choice. But you also understand that even though some may always choose a negative idea and not have a deep understanding of the positive energy being offered to them because of their own fear-based definitions, they may not know what to do with that. They may not know how to behave in alignment with that. They may choose negative behavior, even as a result of being exposed to the idea of a positive vibration. And you can recognize that and have the compassion to wish them well. You can share with them that they have alternatives, but should they choose not to take them, be unconditionally allow them to find their own way. You cannot force anything on anyone, for if you do, all you're saying is you don't believe in the power of what you believe in yourself. For the greatest power requires the lightest, gentlest touch. Look at all that is. It is so powerful, you hardly feel it at all. That's how powerful it is. It does not have any need to force itself upon you. God's will is your will, because you are all that is. If the idea of all that is forced its will upon you, it would be contradicting the creation that you are within it. You are created to be who you are as a reflection, as an experience of all that is. You are made of all that is. We are made of all that is. Everything is made from all that is. What need does it have to exercise its will on itself? The reason you say that God, Goddess, all that is omnipotent. The reason you say it is omnipresent and omniscient, the only way that can actually be possible is if it is everywhere, because it is everything in existence. So it does not contradict itself. You are the aspect you are for a reason. And without you, all that is would not be all that is. Cherish that uniqueness. Cherish that authenticity. Cherish that ability to express the unique point of view that you are. Cherish it. Don't ignore it. Don't damp it down. Don't deny it. Let it free. Let it out. Let it be the shining light that helps ignite 1 billion candles. And then your world will be alight with flame of creation. You will ignite the passion within yourselves simply by your proximity, simply by your enthusiasm, simply by your passion. For you all know that when you see someone so inspired, so passionate, you know you can feel the passion rising within you to match that frequency in your own way, to be inspired by them, and to be your own version of that idea that they are expressing so passionately, so fervently, so creatively, so beautifully, so joyfully in their lives. Let your imagination run free. It is the conduit of communion between you and the higher mind. Express it in action because you are grounded in physical reality experience. And without that action, without that physical action, you haven't completed the circuit. Don't just be a spectator. Be involved. Be active. Put it out there. Some may not listen, but some will. And then others will listen to them. And others will listen to them. And others will listen to them. And so the perspective will shift and change. And as you then continue to shift billions of times per second through a multitude of parallel Earth realities, more and more and more and more, you will find yourself on course, shifting in the direction of the parallel versions of Earth that are more reflective, more representative of the changes you have made within yourself, and that will ultimately be the only versions of Earth you will experience. That is the path you are on. That is the direction you are taking. Were it not so, we would not be having these conversations with you. For not only does creation not make pointless creations, thus validating your very existence, we also only do what excites us the most. And we also don't do pointless things. Having these conversations with you, having first contact with your world, excites us beyond our ability to express, for you are family. And by forming these connections and allowing these connections, we are family growing together, expanding beyond what either of us can imagine we could become. And in becoming it, then we gain a new understanding and a new perspective of creation and all that is. But to be that expanded family, to be that extended family, to be that authentic family, to be that adventurous family, to be that extraordinary family, you must be the state of being of that family first. So come, join our family, and allow us to explore creation together in new and imaginative and startling ways beyond what you can presently conceive. Be your extraordinary selves. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. If anything, hold forward. We thank you for the allowance of this transmission, this day of your time. We remind you that later in this transmission, there will be a third transmission from the Ethasani Oversoul with new information for you that will explain a little bit more fully exactly what is being set up between our respective civilizations energetically. But for now, we will, in exchange for this gift you have given to us, ask in what way may we be of service to you through your questions and dialogues at this time.